Good morning. This hearing is called to order. Members and guests will please take their seats. Madam Clerk, please call the roll to take attendance. Members that are in attendance will please indicate that you are present when your name is called.
Councilmember Gauthier. Present. Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Present.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Present.
A quorum has been met.
Thank you. A quorum of the committee is present, and this hearing is now called to order. This is the public hearing of the Committee on Rules regarding bills number 240220 and 240281. Madam Clerk, please read the title of the bills.
Bill number 240220 to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Red Lion Road, the Montgomery County line, the Bucks County line, and Roosevelt Boulevard. And Bill number 240281 to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Montgomery Avenue, 10th Street, Girard Avenue, and 13th Street.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk, please call the first panel. We have to testify this morning on bill number 240220.
Paula Brumbelow Burns, Director of Legislation, Philadelphia City Planning Commission.
Good morning. Please state your name for the record and proceed with your testimony. And I do want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Vice Chair Squilla. Good morning.
Good morning, members of the Rules Committee. I am Paula Brumbelow Burns, Director of Legislation for the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I am here to testify on bill number 240220, introduced into City Council on March 21st, 2024 by Councilmember O'Neill. Bill number 240220 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning in an area bounded by Red Lion Road, the Montgomery County line, the Bucks County line, and Roosevelt Boulevard in the Somerton neighborhood of the Far Northeast Planning District. This bill proposes to rezone part of all of 4 shopping centers in the Somerton neighborhood in the Upper Far Northeast Planning District. The proposed change will impact the commercial areas at 5501 Bustleton Avenue, 11685 Bustleton Avenue, 10,000 to 10,050 East Roosevelt Boulevard, and 11,000 East Roosevelt Boulevard. These properties are proposed for CA1 auto-oriented commercial zoning. Each of these changes matches the existing land use to the appropriate zoning district. The Planning Commission supported the existing land use at those sites in the 2017 Far Northeast District Plan. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered bill number 240220 at its public meeting on April 18th, 2024, and recommended the bill for approval. This bill is being amended due to a technical error that had an artifact polygon from prior map that did not belong in this legislation, which created some confusion on the zoning change. The amendment simply removes that polygon for proper rezoning.
I have a question. I think it's just an error again, but I don't think it's in your testimony. It may not be in the bill.
Okay.
5501 Bustleton Avenue.
Yes, I just omitted it from
would be. Is there a 1 in front of it? Is that?
It may be. I just
because 5501 is way.
Yes, then it was supposed to be
beginning of Bustleton Avenue, probably. Okay, that's all. Because if it's not in the bill, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I just wanted to point it out to you.
Yes, I think that was a typo on my part.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from members of this committee? No? Councilman, you good?
Good. I'm good.
Okay. Any
staff work on this? It was.
You're welcome.
There's no one else seeing no one else here to testify. Okay, Madam Clerk, please call forward the next panel to testify on bill number 240281.
Paula Brumbelow Burns, Director of Legislation, Philadelphia City Planning Commission.
And good morning. Please state your name again for the record and proceed.
Good morning, members of the Rules Committee. I am Paula Brumbelow Burns, Director of Legislation for the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on Bill number 240281, introduced into City Council on April 11th, 2024 by Councilmember Young. Bill number 240281 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations in an area bounded by Montgomery Avenue, 10th Street, Girard Avenue, and 13th Street in the Yorktown neighborhood of the Lower North Planning District. This bill will correct the zoning in several blocks of Yorktown and the adjacent neighborhood, including one block of single-family homes, Dunbar Elementary School, and the 10th and Columbia Field. This bill is consistent with the Comprehensive Plan's recommendation regarding correctly rezoning playgrounds and schools in this neighborhood. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill number 240281 at its public meeting on April 18th, 2024, and recommended the bill for approval. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions from the panel, from the committee? Okay. All right. Seeing that there's no one else here to testify, and there being no further witnesses, I'll ask again if there's anyone else here in chambers that wishes to testify on any of the bills that came before this committee today. Seeing that there's none, we are now going to go from our public hearing. This concludes the public hearing, and we'll now go into our public meeting to consider the action to be taken on the bills before the committee today. And we thank you for your patience as we now go into that public meeting. I want to recognize Councilmember Squilla for a motion on the amendment to Bill number 240220.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. I offer an amendment to Bill number 240220. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to Bill number 240220 be approved.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the amendment to Bill number 240220 be approved. All of those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the ayes have it and the motion carries. Chair recognizes Councilmember Squilla for a motion on Bill number 240220 as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Bill number 240220 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended and submit the first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Council members O'Neill and Gilmore Richardson seconds the motion. It's been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 240220 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit the first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All of those in favor of this motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. I now want to recognize Councilmember Squilla for a motion on Bill number 240281.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Bill number 240281 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move the rules of council be suspended to submit the first reading of this bill to the next session of council.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Councilmember Gilmore Richardson and O'Neill seconds the motion. It's been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 240159, It's been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 240281 be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit the first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All of those who are in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Is anyone opposed? Okay, the ayes have it and the motion carries. And if there are no additional remarks, this concludes the business of the Committee on Rules for today. Thank you very much for your attendance.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're very welcome. Have a great weekend.